Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Maggie and Ferocious Mondays. Today, we'll be reviewing our penultimate segments of Season 1 of Maggie and the Ferocious Beast. Season 1, Episode 12A, Louder, Louder. In this episode, during a contest to see who can shout the loudest, causing the loudest echo, the beast roars a little too ferociously and loses his voice. This is a very serious problem. How can he be ferocious without a roar? Maggie helps him practice his ferocious facial expressions while Hamilton makes him some special blueberry tea that will help him get his voice back. Now, this episode, I really do like it because I just felt so bad for Beast in this episode. Like, if you had to ask me when I could really feel bad for the Beast in the series, this would be one of the top 3 moments because not being able to hear Beast speak for most of an episode and like him feeling all sad is just the worst thing I could ever ask for in this show, and it happens here. But I will say I really do like the beginning when all of them are just seeing the map above, like a sitting bench on top of a hill. It's just, I like it because it's basically metaphorically Maggie showing them the world that she created for not just them but everybody else in the world that she made. And I also love that the view above them, it has the little markings of the map, like when she drew, like in the intro. I absolutely love that. I absolutely love it. And all of them just youting like an echo. It's basically like an echo spot that she basically got for them. Well, not like got for them, but like, seeked out for them, I will say. It's really, really nice. I like it. And I like when Hamilton is looking for his box above the hill. I really like that too. And all of them just yelling at the top of their lungs, and especially Beast, him yelling the loudest, and Maggie and Hamilton hanging on to each other when they yelled. I mean, when he roared very loudly. And it was just, and the scene where he just was like, when Maggie was like, "You lost your voice," and then he started looking all over the place where they were at, and then Maggie said, "It's not really lost. You can't talk because that roar hurt your throat." And then Hamilton does some methods that I don't know, which I personally have experience with, especially from my grandmother. Tea and having something warm around my neck or something warm around my body. Not with like a sore throat, but when I'm like actually sick, like tea and a scarf. That made me feel nice and comforting. That was really comforting for me. And I really like how it kind of turns into like a game of charades. A game of charades when Beast and Maggie are trying to figure out what the Beast wants, because at first when Hamilton wraps all the scarves around him, he tries to figure out like what's wrong, and then he says, but luckily Maggie's able to figure it out. He turns out he's too hot. When Hamilton gives Beast some tea, Hamilton thinks that Beast is too hot again, but then Maggie said he doesn't like tea, which would be our first implication of Beast not really being too keen on tea in the series. But I believe there's like a misconception. I believe next season with this, but I'll talk about that later on. And that's when we get the real heart-to-heart conversation with Maggie and Beast. When Maggie suggests doing some things that doesn't have Beast involving him talking at all. And then she suggests they should play a much quieter version of their game they was playing at the start, instead of louder, louder, softer, softer. And obviously Beast, his little noises, he just sounds like like, I feel so bad for him. And even when Maggie tried to tell Beast, "You won," he still doesn't feel better. And that's when we play like a little charades again. What Beach is trying to say, basically what he's trying to say is that he's not a ferocious beast if he can't roar, which, that is just so sad. Like, that is just so sad. It really is, because is basically him saying, like, the one thing that I have, when people don't think I'm something I'm not, the one thing that I have is gone now. How can I say what I am? How can I say what I am, what my namesake character is, if I don't have said thing anymore, or for the moment? If I don't have said thing, I'm just not who I say I am. That's basically what Beast is trying to say. And that is so sad. And even Maggie reminds him, just because you don't have your roar, you're still ferocious. Because that's when she suggests he should make ferocious facial expressions. And and at one point it even scares Hamilton, which is really funny. And and then Maggie, she even, I call it the the Kristoff and Sven trope, when Maggie starts talking for Beast, when she's like, I am the ferocious beast, which is really funny. And then towards the end, Beast finally gets a sip of his tea, and then he was like, and then they called out that we heard you, and Hamilton was right. Tea was helpful. And that's when he suggests that he should give him some more tea. And then at the end, Beast scares Maggie too, which made him smile, and it made me happy. So overall, this was an amazing way to start off our penultimate segments of these next 3 batches of episodes. I absolutely love it. I love Beast in this episode. I love him and also feel bad for him. Basically, him not feeling like his ferocious self, feeling like the one thing that he had basically got taken away from him, is just all the more heartbreaking and sad. And I really felt for him here. I really did. And I love that. It just took the heartfelt words of his creator, aka his best friend, to just remind him that even though you don't have what you have right now, you're still a ferocious beast. Which, I love that so much. And I'm going to give this episode a 10. I'm going to give it a 10. It's really, really nice. It is. And I'm not going to give any spoilers, but next episode is going to get a pretty high rating as well. It is. So, tune in with me next time as we will be reviewing our next segment, Season 1, Episode 12B, Once Upon a Time. See you all next time. Great Googly Moogly.